Many people, when it comes time to replace the tires on their car, are confused about what type of tire they should put on. And why wouldn't you be? There's hundreds and hundreds of tires on the market of dozens and dozens of different types. It's right here in front of me. I've got a bunch of unique types of tires. My goal today is to try to talk you through them so that you understand how they differ, why they differ, and what you might need for your car and your usage, okay? So let's start at the extreme down here. That's a light truck all-terrain tire. That's if you have a Toyota Tacoma or maybe a Ford F-150, something that you use a little bit off-road, maybe a little bit of mud, that kind of use, that kind of look. Certain compromises to that tire tend to be a little noisier, but you can get through some of that gnarlier terrain. If you need that, you probably already know that you need that. Next tire over, this is a more typical light truck tire. This actually came off a Volkswagen Touareg, an SUV. Similar type of size, slightly knobbly tread, a little bit noisy, but designed to be able to go through a little bit of that sort of off-road terrain, but really for more everyday use. Next tire over, this is actually a commercial tire. It looks like a lot of the other tires here in terms of its tread pattern, distinct from those, but its internal construction is extremely stiff. This is actually one of the tires that we use on the ZipTire vans to carry all of our heavy loads around. Over on the other extreme here, we've got a run flat tire. That's a tire with a very stiff sidewall that allows you to run with no pressure at all on the tire for a certain distance in case you get a puncture. It's a tire that has a lot of compromises actually. That stiff sidewall means that the handling is actually compromised and you tend to get a lot of road noise, and they're very expensive. We actually often advise customers not to replace their run flats with other run flats unless you really, really need that margin of safety, and we often supply flat repair kits if necessary. In the middle range here, these are really more passenger tires, more typical types of usages, and I want to talk you through these, okay? The two extremes. On this one hand here, you've got really what's a track tire. It's a slick. It has no tread voids at all, really. It's designed to get as much rubber down to the surface as possible, but it has compromises you can't even see. The rubber compound is only really designed to go down to a certain temperature. It needs to be very warm in order to work correctly. If there's any rain on the surface of the road, or if it's cold out, that tire doesn't work right, and you'd have to know what you're doing. This tire is actually legal for the road, but you wouldn't drive it there unless you really know what you're doing. On the other extreme, look at this tire. This is a snow tire. It has very, very deep tread voids designed to cut down into snow, and it has what we call sipes, lots and lots of sipes across the tire. These are designed to deflect slightly as the tire goes around its rotation and work like fingernails in the surface, okay? It digs down, it can break the surface tension when there's water on top of ice. It also, in snow, grabs bits of snow, and those bits of snow grab other bits of snow to give you traction. A very unusual but a very effective way to get traction in those bad conditions. So then between the slick and the snow tire, we've got tires that have a combination of those features, okay? On the one extreme here, you've got a maximum performance summer tire. This has a compound very similar to the track tire, so only works in warm temperatures, and it has tread voids to be able to deal with some rain if necessary, but you see no sipes at all. Now in the middle here, we have tires that combine some aspects of the snow tire, some aspects of the track tires, but give you more everyday use in terms of the compromises, okay? Ultra high performance summer, ultra high performance all season, and passenger all season tires. Let's talk about the compromises here. The ultra high performance summer only tire, you can see, has no sipes at all in it, none of this technology from the winter tires. So it's got good big meaty tread blocks to give you good traction in the dry. It's got pretty good tread void to deal with rain, standing water, but it doesn't have any of those sipes to deal with low temperatures or any slush. And that's because, in fact, it's not designed to deal with those low temperatures. And crucially, you can't see this, but the rubber compound, when it gets cold, turns to something like a hockey puck. It gets a lot harder, doesn't work correctly below about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. That's important to remember because a lot of people have these on their Porsches and Camaros and so on, and if you go around a freeway off-ramp below 40 degrees, you might go off the road. Not designed for that kind of use. Whereas over here, you have a tire that not only has sipes in it and good tread void, but also has a rubber compound designed to work properly below 40 degrees and in fact work properly below the freezing point. It's an ultra high performance all season tire. So if you have a Mercedes or BMW or Porsche that you use all year, this is the kind of tire that you might want to use for that kind of vehicle and for that kind of usage. Still has great performance. This came off a Porsche actually, and doesn't have the compromises of the summer only tire when the temperature gets cold. Over here then, one more step, you've got the passenger all-season tire. Doesn't have the structure, doesn't have the meat of the ultra-high performance all-season tire, but has a lot of sipes now, some of the technology from the winter tire, okay? Designed to work in lower temperatures, designed to work when there's a little bit of slush on the road, good deep tread voids for any standing water and so on. But really, this is kind of the big market tire. If you have a Toyota Camry, a minivan, millions of people every day need these tires. This is the broad market tire, passenger all-season tire. So that's just an introduction to the different types of tires that are on the market, huge range of possibilities. If you want advice on what type of tire you might need for your car and for your usage, feel free to call 844-ZIP-TIRE or look us up on ziptire.net.